This video will guide you through 8 steps needed to create an effective postnuptial agreement. Drafting postnuptial agreements is a widely requested project on Contracts Council's platform since the use of prenups and postnuptial agreements have become more popular. If you're planning to draft a postnuptial agreement, this video is for you. We will cover 1. Why consider a postnuptial agreement? 2. Key terms to include in your agreement. 3. The 8 steps to follow to write an effective postnuptial agreement. Now, let's get started. Why consider a postnuptial agreement? A postnuptial agreement is similar to a prenuptial agreement, but are created after a couple is married. People use postnuptial agreements for various reasons, but it is often related to a change in their relationship, financial status, or personal circumstances. Here are some reasons and considerations. 1. Change in financial circumstances. If there is a big change in a couple's financial situation, like a spouse receiving a large inheritance or starting a successful business, a postnuptial agreement can address how these changes affect their financial arrangement. 2. Protecting individual assets. Like a prenup, a postnuptial agreement can be used to protect individual assets and make sure they are considered marital property in the event of a divorce. 3. Addressing marital issues. Couples experiencing marital difficulties may use a postnuptial agreement to address financial concerns and responsibilities. 4. Career changes. If one spouse chooses to leave the workforce to raise children, a postnuptial agreement can protect them financially in the event of a divorce. 5. Clarifying financial responsibilities. A postnuptial agreement can help couples establish clear financial goals and responsibilities. 6. Updating a prenup. Couples that have a prenuptial agreement may choose to update their arrangement using a postnuptial agreement. What to include in postnuptial agreements? Postnuptial agreements use many of the same terms. Here are some common clauses you will find. 1. Definition of separate and marital property. This section defines what is considered separate property or property owned by the individuals and marital property or property owned jointly. 2. Dividing assets and liabilities. This section details how assets and liabilities will be divided in the event of a divorce. This can include real estate, investments, retirement accounts, and debts. 3. Spousal support. This section outlines if one party will be obligated to provide financial support to the other party in the event of a divorce and for how long. 4. Income and earnings. This section outlines how future earnings and income will be treated, whether separate or marital property. 5. Management of joint finances. This section outlines how everyday expenses and bank accounts are managed during the marriage. 6. Business ownership. If one or both parties owns a business, this section outlines how the business will be valued and divided in the event of a divorce. 7. Inheritance. This section outlines how inheritance will be treated, particularly important in blended families where children exist from previous marriages. 8. Debt responsibilities. This section outlines who is responsible for debts incurred before and during the marriage, along with any future debts. 9. Financial disclosures. These are where both parties fully disclose their financial situation, including assets, debts, income, and potential inheritance. Note, these may be separate documents attached to the agreement. 10. Amendment or revoking terms. This section outlines the procedure in which the parties can amend or revoke the terms of the agreement. 8 steps to writing a postnuptial agreement. Here is a list of 8 steps you can follow to draft a postnuptial agreement. 1. Review commonly used clauses. Review the commonly used clauses discussed earlier in this video or find a template online to use as a reference. Then, determine what you want to include in your agreement. 2. Identify key relationship information. Next, identify the key information you want to include. This may include details about inheritance, assets, debts, and other details. 3. Use clear language. When writing a legal agreement, it is critical to use clear and concise language that all parties understand. Avoid using complex legal language or technical terms. 4. Organize content. Once you've written your clauses, organize them so that they are logical. For example, you likely want to have your definition of separate and marital property come before your amendment clause. 5. Include applicable laws. Be sure to incorporate any applicable state laws that may be required in your jurisdiction. Note, this may require doing some research. 6. Consider seeking legal advice. If you are unsure about anything, consider using Contracts Counsel's platform to seek advice from an experienced family lawyer. 7. Review and revise. Once you've drafted your clauses, review and revise them to make the language clearer and confirm you have included everything needed. 8. Make available. Create a standalone document you can distribute to your partner for signature. In conclusion, writing a postnuptial agreement is a great way to protect yourselves if circumstances have changed in your marriage. It is always our recommendation to seek legal advice, since these agreements are complicated. If you need help from an experienced lawyer, feel free to visit www.contractscounsel.com and post a job to get quotes from lawyers to help you. Thanks for watching.